Shalom, Shalom, Imhutepu. How is everyone? We'll get started letting Facebook notify you guys that I'm here. Please do not forget that the natural birth control class is on the 8th. There will be security settings that will come on my page, which means it's really going to be locked down to just the people who paid. Unless somebody rolled through like the brother did and just outright pay for the class so everybody can take it. That will be on the 8th. Other than that, I don't have anything else scheduled for y'all. 7. The rise of the great yin. We're going to go ahead and start with telling the truth. The truth is, the divine feminine or the woman has been suppressed for a couple thousand years under the idea that great yang is all powerful. Nothing can be further from the truth. As a matter of fact, without yin, great yang can't even be realized. So what we're seeing in this time is a rebalancing of this extremism that has been caused by great yang and great yang's expression of itself. And this masculine energy has so radiated or is so, good morning, good rise, salam, shalom, imhotepu to everybody. It has shined so brightly and so hot for so long that it has forgotten the coolness from which it came from. And forgetting that once the shine or radiation wears off, that it goes back to that which it diminished in the first place. So as we look around, we see that yin, or the female energy, is filling back up its space. Where at one point it yielded to the yang because of that radiation, because of that brilliant light, because of that heat that is sparked by the friction of the manifestation of thought. Fee, say that in regular terms. Okay, no problem. I'll say it in regular terms. The heat of physical light energy that is created by the friction of these small particles blazing or rubbing up against each other or vibrating in such a way, at such a speed, that it creates luminescence If you are at the center of this type of luminescence, or this type of great yang, or this masculine energy, this fire, you tend to be blinded by your own light, because you are in an extreme, and you cannot see in absolute light, and you cannot see in absolute dark, which has been Yin's problem as well. Because where Yang has expressed itself so fully in its radiance, Yin lost herself in her darkness. They fell out of balance. Which happens. It happens in the great chaos that is this order that is our universe. It has to happen from time to time. It too is a balance, because there will come a time where great yang will be suppressed by great yin. It is a balance. It is a course. When you take a pendulum and you swing it, it's going to hit an extreme twice in one revolution. The balance is what happens in between those two extreme points. And there's only one point where it's completely, honestly, half and half balanced. And that moment does not happen long. Let's just be honest. So, what are we seeing? We're seeing Yang come into the greatest expression that it can have before it destroys everything with its fire. That's just what it is. And if Yin does not rise to balance great Yang before it blazes everything, it all goes to shit. And we have to start all over, which puts us right back into the darkness. So, Fee, what are we seeing right now? We're seeing great Yin trying to balance great Yang before it destroys everything. Because the nature of Yin is to preserve, to pass on, to multiply. She's the calm. She's the nurturer. She was the thought before the action took place. The action could not have taken place without her from the beginning. She is the thought. He is the action. And once the action is finished, it diminishes back into its thought. So what we're seeing is this yin factor, or these feminine principles that are pushing back on yang, forcing yang back into a proportional state. So you see what you call, what most of society will call, the hard woman, or the masculated woman. I think this is not the proper term for her, a masculated woman, because yin has power. And power is force. No, the force is not yang, and we don't expect yang to understand the power of yin. We don't expect it. We want you to. A lot of you can. But you deny the power thereof. Because a power is a power. A negative charge is a negative charge, and a positive charge is a positive charge, and you need both to make a damn current. So you see this force of a woman who is structuring the path again. Brothers say sisters take your place. Okay. But in order for me to take my place, I have to move you out of it. See, and brothers don't think about that. You want a sister to take her place, but you want to define that place. How can you, as great yang, define great yin's place when you came out of her? How? Most great yang can't even manifest the thought that great yin can love more than one man. Although he can love as many women or others as he feels he can or is necessary. But somehow in his psyche, in the psyche of great yang, all of a sudden, the only thing that great yin can love is singularly him. You got great yin fucked up. Is great yang just that freaking shallow? If a woman can love 3 children, 7 children, and she can love her mother and her father, if you can love more than one person at a time, because great yang is really good for letting great yin know that he can love more than one woman at a time, why can't she? I mean, after all, where you think you got the thought from? It behooves me that great yang believes that from its narrow standpoint of radiation, it can have an understanding of the darkness. It takes a very, very special yang to be able to step out of his light and delve into the darkness of yin. Very few yangs want to know that type of mystery because they're too caught up in masturbating on their own radiation. So now you see great yin beginning to masturbate on her radiation. Because yes, white light is a spectrum, but so is black light. And you need a special type of seeing to be able to navigate with your eyes through black light, because your eyes are useless in it. You see yin beginning to test yang. You see yin beginning to neutralize yang. You see women that are just as good as men are at certain things, using their own unique powers. You see the rise of female warriors. You see the rise of what we call great mamas. These are women that, like a couple of sisters in Africa. I can't call their names right now. I hate English sometimes. I can't call their names. But it's one sister where she was just planting trees in Africa. She went out and she got an education, and she came back to Africa, and she began, her country, and she began to plant the green belt. And her husband divorced her because he said she was too hard to handle. It's like Mandela divorcing Winnie. I'm just going to be honest, man. If Winnie did not keep Mandela in the eyes of the world while he was incarcerated, Mandela wouldn't have made it. But as soon as you get out, the great yin that kept you alive, that kept you relevant, you separate yourself from her. And y'all think Mandela is the bee's knees. I don't. I have absolutely no respect for a man that has no loyalty to the woman that kept his ass relevant when a bigoted government could have took him out in 5 years of his imprisonment, and he wouldn't be the president of South Africa. He wouldn't have come out with that type of relevance if he had come out alive at all. Because people were afraid of Winnie Mandela. There were many women in Africa who were warrior queens that people were very afraid of. The president of Alibaba once said, "If you want the good of one person, give the decision to a man. He will make the best decision for himself. If you want a decision for everybody that benefits everybody, give the problem to a woman. She will see to it that everybody benefits from the answer." That is the power of great yin. And that is the power that you will see pushing back from now on. Brothers, this is going to test your steel. Because you were taught that force is power. And it is. It is. That is a natural law. Force is power. But you have a positive force. And positive doesn't mean good. It just means positive. It is a plus sign so we can understand what that charge is. We are the negative. And that doesn't mean bad. It means we have a negative charge. And when you put a positive charge and a negative charge together, you get a current. How do we best serve the great yin? By giving her her position and getting the fuck out of it. Give her her space. Let her figure herself out. She was the first. She was the first. Things came out of the darkness first. Then there was light. Did anybody ask how long Yin had to sit there and formulate a thought before the light came out of it? And I'm not speaking in feminist terms or misogynistic terms. I am speaking in charges. I am speaking in electrical currents. I am talking in energy terms. Let's get out of this low level. She's only talking about male, female. No. I am talking about energies. Because when you talk about energies, you cannot speak on bad or good. You start talking about male and female, people go to this bad and good and evil and all that shit. We're talking about energies. Energies can't be, well, they can be, but that's not the point. It depends on what your perspective is. But a charge is a charge. You can't stick your finger in a socket and say the socket is evil because you got shocked. You can't call fire evil because you stuck your fucking hand in it. So let's get out of that shit. That's what's got us messed up now. Everything is put on good or bad or good or evil terms. How about it is what the fuck it is? And that's one of the other characteristics of yin. Yin is hardly a labeler. Yin likes to see things just for what the hell it is. Why do mothers accept da-da-da-da-da? Because she's a mom. It is the nature of motherhood. Again, my brother, get the fuck out of the female's position. Let her play her position. You can't play catcher, pitcher, first base, and left field all at the same time. Pick a battle, nigga. Pick a battle. How do you come to her rescue, man? You see somebody messing with great yin. You see somebody pushing. You see great yang pushing great yin around. Check great yang. Because y'all real bad at checking each other. But then when great yin come up and start checking his ass, all of a sudden, oh, why are you emasculating him? Emasculating him. Why is he subjugating her? Everybody got their foot on somebody's damn neck. The how many times? Ooh, hold on. Let's go live with. Let's see what this is about. I love these. I'm adding somebody right quick. They popped up. This is my disclaimer. At first disrespect, you out of here. At first disrespect. So let's keep this congenial. Everybody gonna mind their manners. We're gonna talk about the subject, not each other. That being said, come on. If he accepts, he accepts. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He'll pop up over there. But that is how you do that for great yin. You allow her strength. Build her up. There is nothing. If a woman was your arm, right? Do you want your arm strong or do you want your arm weak? Oh, you declined? Okay. No problem. If you want your exercise her. Give her space. Let her push some weight. Let her exercise her power. I was under 2 men that allowed me my power. They allowed me to get strong. They allowed me my place by getting out of it. What? Okay, Fee, you said that like 2 or 3 times. Explain what you mean by that. Okay. Because I had men around me that protected, that provided, that nurtured, that taught, that held me accountable. Because they were holding their place and their place firmly, I was very able to ease into a wife, nurture, mother, giver, maker, dare I say it, comforter, where I wasn't that before them. I was a hellion. I was stiff-backed. I was rude. I was mean. I was hurt. And the whole world was gonna hurt with me. And that's how I felt before I ran into these 2 men. And they understood I was hurt. You know, one had the knowledge on how to heal me. And he understood there was going to be some backlash. Because after years of being hurt, it takes years to heal. It was hard work. But again, because they held their position, because they kept their promise, I was able to become the greatest yin that I was able to know. And I did not know this power until I understood that I was in the wrong place. I learned my yang energy strong at first. My yin energy was low. But think about it like this, y'all. Shit, after you've been the victim of a molestation, a rape, the systematic degradation of the black female in the school system, I know why sisters don't want that place. Because it means that, I was talking to a sister and we were like, when somebody tells us, you have to be a woman, you have to be vulnerable, we start laughing because I was like, when I thought of femininity, I always thought of this vulnerability. And the vulnerability that popped into my head always was, the woman running from the serial killer that falls and, no, that was how I saw the word vulnerable. The word vulnerable meant that you had just gotten your ass beaten, you were cowering in the corner, and he was coming back for more. That was vulnerable. Vulnerable. Vulnerable is being a child. And a grown man is on top of you. And the only way to survive, to keep your mind from cracking, is to not be there. Is either to jump out of your head or get lost in it until it's over. Because that's the only strength that you have. Because you can't fight. So you hide or you disassociate. And that too is a great power of yin. To be able to dissociate itself from trauma. And that's where the promise is broken for great yin. The promise is broken when she is small. And her protector is gone. Or the person who is supposed to be her protector is now her tyrant. I need great yang to understand the mental damage that is done to little girls. And we never learn to trust again. It's broken. And it takes very special men. Very, very special men. That understand this trauma to be able to pull her back from this disassociation or to reach in that abyss and find her in those dark places. And this is the greatest power of great yang. Because the places that she hides are the darkest places that she can possibly make. And it is the exact gift of great Yam to be able to come in and shine that light on her and be able to radiate her. These are the only words, excuse me, these are the only words that I can use so that it's a cohesive thought. Be right back. Pull myself together a little bit. And I need my brothers to understand that. It is your unique gift, my brother, to be able to reach down into her dark places and pull her out of it. But if you don't know what you're doing, if you impose that light in that dark place too much, too soon, too hard, you will blind her forever. She will never see you. She will never see you. She will never, ever see you. And she won't care to. And that's a whole nother mental idea of how great yin turns to great yin for comfort, when great yin should be turning to great yang for that comfort. Because a lot of y'all don't even know how to modulate your light. You either full blast or none at all. And that's not mastery. You can't heal anybody like that. The black mother she's poured her everything into her children. And for those of you who didn't get a black mom that did that, I'm sorry. But most of your moms did the best they could with what they had and what they knew. Period. You were supposed to take it from there. Tyranny is the worst than the strongest. But what you are seeing today is yin pushing back. I think yin is tired of waiting on her savior. Yin believes yang has forgotten about her. Because even when she looks into great yang is even taking great yin's seat. You got men out here saying they better versions of women than natural women. For real? Because you have a designer vagina? Nature designed my vajayjay. Not a man. So, it's getting real interesting. I mean, you have the male in the house that's really able to tell a woman everything that she's supposed to do, but he does nothing that he's supposed to do. Well, if you know her role so well, why don't you just take it and give her yours and shut the fuck up? I have men that are upset with me because I'm a martial artist. Give a fuck. Every woman in the world should be a martial artist. And she should be a martial artist for this reason. Women's self-defense cuts down on domestic violence. Because when a man believes that his fucking life is on the line, if he puts his hands on this woman, that shit kind of goddamn evens the goddamn odds, don't it? See, I don't know too many domestic men that will, I don't know too many predators, men that really like to beat up on women, that would take me as a girlfriend or a wife. It's too much threat to his life. I have men that say they won't marry me or take me out because they know they gonna fuck up, and then I'll probably end up kicking them in the chest. I'm like, this some bullshit. I ain't never hit a man I've been with. I don't even like to argue or fight with men that I'm in relationships with. Ever, never, never, ever, never, ever, ever. It is not something that I do. But for some reason, men have it in their minds that, oh shit, if I fuck up, she gonna kick my ass. I'd just rather kick you out. I'll leave. I've left many a relationship. I left a dude in an apartment. When he came home, my shit was gone. And just my stuff. I left my TV. I left the couch. I left it so he could live in it. I just took my stuff. Because I don't want to disturb you. But I canceled the lease and that had my name on it. I canceled that bitch. Now what you do after that, knock yourself out, because I was prepared to lose that deposit. I was prepared to lose that one. And I think he had 3 days. Well, at least he had 3 days, right? Right. Because when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to jump up and down. I ain't going to scream, holler, and yell. That's for my students. Not for my lover. I'm going to look you straight in the face and be like, it's over. And if you don't believe me, it's only going to take a few days for me to go ghost on your ass. But keep your eyes open. Because I get in the wind. I leave. I don't want to argue about it. Ain't no ooh baby baby baby, because when Fee has made up her mind, it is made up. You have to do some extraordinary crazy backflips through a flaming hoop, and that's just to get me to look in your direction, because that hasn't opened the door. I don't help. I don't help. And I wish more women did that. Don't help. Don't help him. You know, if y'all are courting, I don't help. I don't encourage. I don't do nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's a good conversation, if I just out of the blue call you for conversation, might be on to something. Might be. Because it might just be I'm trying to get some information and you have it and I want to be nosy. But if I call you out of the blue, that's a bit of an interest. Because I don't call. Especially interest. No. My grandfather taught me to be aloof. Be aloof. Don't help him. Don't help him and don't encourage him. Because if he really like you, just like a puppy, he'll follow you anywhere you want to go. A man will cross. My grandfather told me this. I love it and I live by it. Great Yang, when Great Yang wants something, when Great Yang wants to acquire something, Great Yang will tear up heaven and hell to get it. Just in case you sisters was wondering if he like you, if he love you, if he calls you unprompted, he like you. If he call to see how you doing, where you going, how you been, just unprompted conversations, check it out. If he doesn't mind staying on the phone and nothing is being said, that's a keeper. Oh, you believe my grandfather? I believe him too. I've chosen well over the years using his logic. He knew men. He was a man, so I figured his advice would be the best advice because he loved me enough that he wanted me to have and know the best. So he was like, you stick yourself high up on the tree. You do not come down. You make him think that he has to almost end his life to acquire you. And if he wants you, if Great Yang wants you, Great Yang will go through any length to have you, including put his life on the line to climb that tree to get you down. Because a man that loves a woman will come to her aid to save her because of his love for her. I've chosen well over the years behind it. And her? Because some of y'all men are wondering, well, what about a woman? Same thing. Same thing, bruh. Same thing. A woman will defy her God for you if she loves you. If she loves you, she will walk away from her family. She will walk away from her father. She will walk away from her God to love you. If she loves you, she will see to it that your seed goes into the future with the best if she loves you. Check this out. If she loves you, she will teach your children inadvertently how to love their father, because they will take her love for you and amplify that. You wonder why some children so honor their father? See how their mother treats their father, and I will show you how she inadvertently taught those children how to look at the father. Mothers are the first. A mother presents a child to the father, and it is through how she feels about that father that that child grows to feel about that man. Test it. Test it. But Great Yin is on the rise, y'all. Whether you like it or not. She's coming back into her power. Whether you like it or not. She will appear to be masculine. She will have that, I'm drawing this line in the sand, and if you cross it, I'm going to take your head kind of attitude. But remember, Great Yang, you brought her to this. And it's okay. Again, everything has an order. But we going to set this back in proper proportion. Because neither one of them is greater than the other. Yin and Yang exist in a neutrality that creates a current for things to move. They are simply two opposing forces that exist within the one. The one cannot exist without these two forces. So for one of these forces to try to subjugate the other, it takes away from the truth of the one. But to destroy your opposite is to destroy yourself, and it is to destroy the one. I'm out of here. I hope y'all understood that. I didn't really see a whole lot of comments, so I'm hoping that I was clear, that this kind of hits you, that you get it. If not, I'll be around. Peace and blessings, y'all. You know who this is. This is fundife. And I always got my ear to the street. My ear to the street. My ear to the street. Peace and blessings. Peace and love, Lily, Flora, Kunani, Kadeem, Dawa, Mayes, Sharice, Divine, Aisha, CE, Shalom, brother, how you doing? Who else was in here? Cameron, peace and blessings. Whitney, peace and blessings. Karshina, Renee, Jamila, Ashe, Amina. I'm loving these names. I'm loving these Oz. Caitlin, love y'all. It is always a pleasure to see you guys. Peace. Salam. Shalom. Imhotep. Justin, nice to see you, love. Carrie, good to see you. Peace and blessings, y'all. Get out here. Do something fucking great. Being yourself is enough. That'll make you great. All right, y'all. I'm out. Go get some water.